Hi, this is The Greatest Story Ever Played. I'm Dan.
I'm Jordan.
And today we're going to be talking about Portal.
Very fun game.
Yes.
Very different than what we usually cover.
Yeah, definitely.
Straight up puzzles. Okay. In Portal, you'll use a highly experimental portal device to solve physical puzzles and challenges, maneuver objects and yourself through space to puzzle your way through the mysterious Aperture Science Laboratories.
Awesome. And this was developed by Valve. People know them for Half-Life, Left 4 Dead. Now they make Steam. That's their big thing.
It's insane.
Yeah. And my understanding is they've really, excluding Half-Life Alyx, or Alyx. Is it Alyx?
I think it's Alex.
Okay. I haven't played it. But
yeah.
Excluding that game, I don't think they've made games in years. I think they just pivoted over to we do Steam.
They also made that was it Team Fortress, or you ever heard of that game?
I have.
It's that
I haven't played it.
It's like it's like I think it's a good. It's not Call of Duty by any means, but it's a shooting game, I think.
Okay.
It might be free, I don't remember. But I think they're making a new Left 4 Dead. As far as I don't know if it's Valve, but someone is making a new one. So
that's interesting.
Cool. Yeah, I love Left 4 Dead games. They're super fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played any of their things. I know about them obviously just from games and stuff like that, but I feel like what I've heard a lot of people say is they just reflect positively on Valve in their games of Portal series, great, Half-Life, great, Left 4 Dead, great, that kind of thing. So it's funny that they just decided to instead be the person you buy PC games from.
Yeah, dude, that's a nice little cash cow. Steam's great, super popular.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it makes sense. It's just interesting being a good game dev to this. But
I think they also made a VR.
Oh yeah,
I forget what that's called.
Right, because that's what the Half-Life Alyx is on.
Yeah.
Is it like the Oculus something? Or is
no, that's a different company. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Okay. But yeah, they've done a lot of things, and so I think getting to go back and go with some of the not oldest stuff they did, but early, because I think this game came out in 2007, so this is a pretty old game in itself. I guess compared to what we typically cover on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Valve Index is the VR, whatever. But yeah, definitely different. There is, I guess this is kind of getting into the non-spoiler thoughts, but there's a story woven through, but it's minimal, I guess. I don't know. Pure dialogue. Yeah.
No, true. I feel like that's a good segue into it. So as we always do, I'm going to do some non-spoiler thoughts. So I guess starting off, you were saying low-key amount of story.
Yeah, you just kind of get story through dialogue with the other NPCs in the game. NPC, whatever. And you kind of flesh out a little bit of what is this, and then you get some environmental hints too, I think, as you go on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's minimal.
Yeah, I would say that this game, it has a story, and I think the story is enough for what it is, because really the focus is the gameplay of it, using this portal gun. That is the game. If that doesn't sound like fun to you, you're not going to like this game.
No.
But it is really fun, so you should play it. I thought it was very fun trying to come up with how to solve these puzzles. Yeah,
me too. And if you do just want to because the dialogue is really fun. It's I don't want to say too much, but it's also, if you don't want to play, you don't like puzzles, it's probably even worth just doing I don't know if there's a YouTube video or something about just someone perfectly playing it, so you don't have to see them die a bunch, and then you get the dialogue that way. It's pretty good dialogue, I feel like. I don't know if I'm sure a video out there exists like that, but I don't know of one.
Yeah, that's true. I thought that was engaging in itself. I think too with puzzles though in it is I didn't feel like they were too hard until the last quarter of the game maybe. So for me, this game's pretty short. I think it's 2 hours long, maybe a little over 2.
Yeah.
I played the first 10 levels the first day I got it. I just played for an hour straight and just zoomed through the first 10 levels. I was totally fine and not typically great at puzzles, but I think these kind of puzzles I'm better at than like some of like the crack the codes of the Uncharted's or things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not as good at those. But this one I felt pretty like, oh, okay, I want to get over there. What do I do?
Yep. Yeah. I think I was similar. It wasn't till maybe the last like 4 or 5 like levels, because there's 19 levels I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 20, I don't remember. And then towards the last I guess quarter, I was like, these are kind of hard now.
Yeah, totally.
There's a lot to like think about. A lot of moving pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah, they definitely got more complex and built on themselves. I know a thing I've like seen people talk about or read is like in a good game, you introduce a mechanic and then you build on that mechanic and you keep going that way. This game very much so does this. Like they nail that part. Clearly, like gameplay is the thing they're best at here, and they very much show that. It's like, puzzle 1, you learn this element. Puzzle 2, you learn this different element. Puzzle 3 is those 2 elements together.
Yep.
Like,
just repeat.
Yeah.
And add more in.
And so then by the end, you've got 7, 8, 9 different elements you've learned. You have to learn to apply them as the game gets tougher. But yeah, I think probably like maybe level 15 forward, I used a guide along the way. Like I'd go until I get stuck, then I'd look at the guide, and then try to go till I get stuck. But on level 18, I thought that the game was going to end there for me. I was like, I can't beat this puzzle. But then I found a way to cheat and do the puzzle a different way that was much easier. They were like, or you can do this puzzle this way you're not supposed to pass. And I did that, and then I succeeded.
I can't. Yeah, well, I guess I'll ask questions about that when we get there.
Yeah, so I had one that was that way, but for a minute I was like, all right, this might be the second game for the podcast where I say I can't beat the end of it, but I'm still gonna.
What was the first one?
Plague Tale: Innocence. I covered that last year with someone else.
Okay.
And at the very end of the game, there was just this one part I died on, probably for like over an hour straight, and I was like, fuck this, I'm not playing it. I'm at the very end of the game. So I just watched the last 20 minutes on YouTube.
Yeah, give me the cutscene at the end.
Basically, I was just like, I'm gonna watch someone else beat this because I know what I need to do, I just can't do it. I just kept doing it wrong, and it was annoying because it was in a game where the gameplay wasn't the main focus, but the gameplay element I couldn't get down right, and it was like, this isn't your best feature, why is this stopping you? Like I was very mad.
Yeah, there should in things like that, there should be like you failed or 5 times. Do you want to skip this?
Right.
Then you skip it. Especially if the main focus of the game is the narrative, the story, whatever.
Totally. Yeah, that's how I felt then. But I thought this was going to be that, but then thankfully I was able to cheat my way around it and finish this game.
No, you didn't cheat. You used your resources. You used your internet browser and figured it out.
Yes. My other thought, I guess I have for non-spoilers, is this is a game that I've seen referred to a lot. Super beloved. Occasionally on Reddit, there'll be like what game to you is a 10 out of 10? Things like that. Portal is always one of the most upvoted things that I've seen on lists that show up. Over that post probably shows up every 5 months or something like that. And each time I'm like, all right, there are some games I'm missing. And I keep seeing this one get referenced. And I'm like, all right, this must be pretty awesome. And I think its love is deserved, for sure. Like, it makes sense how it's so beloved. And yeah, certainly earns it. I had a great time playing it.
Yeah, me too. It's like we've kind of talked about. It's a very minimalist game. Like the main element, is figuring out portals and going through portals and stuff. So it's very. The concept is super straightforward. It's not flashy. There's not many things distracting you from that, and it's actually really good that there's not, because like you said, the gameplay is really good, really fun. It's very refined, I feel like. Yeah. So it's I agree. If you haven't played this, you get, what is it, $10-15 or something for the pack of Portal 1 and 2?
Yeah, I think it was 15 or 20, something like that. But either way, great deal. Totally worth picking up. And like you said, just now, I think put on Switch in the last couple of months. So it's pretty new to being on Switch, which is great because it was only on old consoles or PC for quite a while. So that let us be able to play it.
Yep. And yes, if you have a Switch, you have 15 or $20 and you have 4 hours free. Super worth it.
Yeah, totally. That's all I've got. Did you have any other stuff before we get in?
No. Nope. We're good.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll move into our recap. As always with these, this is where spoilers come in and all that. So if you don't want to hear our more detailed thoughts on this game, drop off here, go play it. Now, as we mentioned, this game has 19 levels that you go through, and there's a bunch of puzzles and all of that. We're not going to go through like level 1 and here's how you complete that puzzle. I just don't think that would be that engaging. Instead, I think we'll talk about sort of our overall impressions as we went through it. Maybe that will cause us landing out on camping out on a certain level or something, but really, I think going off with overall impressions makes more sense here, and I think would be more enjoyable. I think to experience the nitty-gritty of the levels, I think the best way to do that is to really play it.
Yeah, I don't know how we would begin to describe, other than like, oh, there's a platform or there's a robot or something. Like, I don't know how you describe where to shoot the portal. It'd be, especially as it goes on, nearly impossible.
Yeah, it would definitely get complex. Perhaps someone could do it well, but I didn't see myself as that person.
No.
So
I feel like you'd have to have everything memorized, or you'd have to be playing as you were talking.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I wonder if you were actually playing as you went, and you're like, okay, I see a room and it looks like this. Maybe you could pull that off. But either way, so our game begins with Chell. That's our character who doesn't get named, I don't think, in the game.
I don't remember ever hearing the name.
But I did, in the wiki and stuff, I saw our character referred to that way. So who's our silent protagonist. That's who we play as. Wakes up and starts getting instruction from GLaDOS. GLaDOS is an AI who basically like is watching us complete this portal course and wants to test us. She refers to us as a test subject and says, hey, can you complete these portals? And we'll give you kind of varying instructions as you go level by level, sometimes giving you encouragement or potentially being negative or tell you not to do things. Like if you shoot a portal at the camera and the camera falls down, it's just like, don't destroy devices here or whatever.
Yeah. She always refers to, like, I forget the phrase, but essentially like the rules of the testing procedure dictate that we must tell you that you can't do this or that. Like, there's one level where she says something about, like, the rules of the testing procedure dictate that we can't watch you on this level. And at the end, she said, yeah, we lied. So rules of the testing dictate that rules of the testing dictate can't lie, or something like that. Like, so you get a lot of, like, goofy interactions with her, too. She's pretty funny.
Yeah, totally. And so, basically, as we described in the beginning, too, you complete test chambers, and each one kind of introduces different mechanics. They build on each other, all that stuff. I would say, by and large, like, the beginning of it seems pretty normal, and I don't know. She's an AI, you're a test subject, and you're just doing the portal stuff. And then as time goes on, she seems more evil than you kind of would have thought at first. And I think at first she seems kind of more general. This is the test. Can you complete it? And the test chambers get more dangerous as it goes. So, like, there's a test chamber where there's, like, these balls getting shot.
Yeah, like the electric balls.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, and she'll be like, this one is hazardous, but we don't have safety equipment for you. And you're like, okay, like, you don't care about the safety of test subjects, maybe. And there just kind of starts to be more things that mount that way, where the puzzles get more dangerous. You don't have as many safety options. And yeah, I don't know. I guess that the idea of, like, a real... I would think in my mind that testing environments just in general aren't supposed to have major real consequences. They're supposed to teach you how to, like, I don't know, when you take your in-cars as a student driver, the possibility isn't supposed to be that you might die during this if you don't do it. It's like your at worst is that you will not be allowed to drive. That's how that's supposed to go.
Supposed to.
Yeah, I guess that, extreme accidents can happen, but these ones would get pretty dangerous where your test subject could die.
And it's set up that way.
Yeah, if you fail this, you will die. Whether it's falling into the lava or whatever.
There is one level, I don't remember which one. I think it's before level 10. But she does say, like, failure to complete the test will result in, like, a fatality or death or something. I'm like, whoa, what?
Right.
But it's so, like, it's kind of, like, slipped under the rug or...
Yeah.
It's like slipped into what she's saying. You're like, oh, okay, that's weird.
Right, because she doesn't express the gravity any more than it. She just kind of says it. Like, all right, in this one, you're going to do this. Also, you may die. Like, and you're like, okay, you're real casual about this. So, you know, it doesn't... I feel like that's how a lot of her instructions and speaking is like it's just slid in there almost.
Yeah, there's one dialogue piece she has too, or the AI has, whatever. Where you get the portal gun in, like, I don't know, level 2 or 3 or something. So you can shoot your own portals, and then I don't remember, level 8 or 10 or 11, you get the upgraded portal gun, so you can shoot 3 portals or 2. 2 portals. How does it?
Yeah, it's 2. There's 2, right? Because you have 2 triggers where you'll pull one for each side.
Yeah, two portals. But you can go through. Yeah, that's right. And at one point she's like, "Congratulations, the portal gun is now worth or more valuable than all the test subjects' internal organs." Income and family's income or something like that. I'm like, okay, that's you think pretty low of me.
That's great. Yeah. That's a good dialogue.
So things like that. She just says kind of dark humory things.
Totally. Then you know, you start to see these things as it goes. You get a level where there's a cube that you need to complete your puzzles. But at the beginning, she refers to the cube as your companion cube that you must protect no matter what. It has a heart on it. Yeah, it has a heart on it. It's like, this companion cube, you need it, it needs you. And you do the puzzle, and you get through the puzzle with your companion cube, like she says. And then you get to a part of the puzzle, and she says, you have to destroy your companion cube to complete the puzzle. And you do it, and then afterwards she's like, you didn't have to destroy the companion cube. Like, she just made you do it. And it just shows, okay, you like being... You're putting people, like, or putting test subjects in physically dangerous situations, but also, like, being, I don't know, manipulative or shitty on purpose. Like, emotionally shitty. As well to the test subjects. So, GLaDOS... worse and worse as it goes, I would say, as a person, I guess, quote unquote. Also funny. That's still true through all of this. Even though she's being revealed as bad, her dialogue is also really funny throughout the game, and I laughed a lot. Even though I'm like, you're bad, and I don't like you, I also would laugh because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, even when she's saying things that are terrible, or like threatening to kill you or murder you, the way she says it is pretty comical.
Awesome. Cool. So, yeah, I would say the game goes on kind of like this. I would say that I think from here we could really... Well, I guess... Do we want to talk about kind of the harder levels for a minute before we go to the end?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Yeah. I guess for the harder levels where I got stuck on that, like, level 18 maybe, there was one where you had to, like... You had to shoot a portal, like, multiple times, but you had to get a ball to go into a wall that went up and down that would then move a platform over to you to get to another part.
Yeah.
That one. Well, I looked up a way to basically do the thing where you jump in the hole and then it would shoot you out to not do that puzzle.
Yeah.
That's what saved me from that section.
Yeah, I did not do that. I mean, there's lots of parts in the levels. That's level 18.
Yeah, I think.
I don't, honestly.
It was one of the last ones.
Honestly, the last, like, 5, well, up until the very end, they all they didn't blend together. But they're all really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of points in those where you have to, like, do the speedy thing. Or shoot a portal somewhere high. And then you shoot one low, and you jump through it. And you, like, keep jumping through it, and you build up speed, then you can, like, kind of launch yourself.
Yep.
But that I thought that was one of my favorite mechanics, I think, in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was hard to know when to do that versus when to like. I feel like there's so many distracting things. Like, oh, there's a ball over here, and then there's like a moving thing. Like, am I supposed to do something like that right now, or because levels got pretty complex.
Yep.
Sometimes there's like layers. Like you'd have to like go up and then go back down and then go up. It just like I don't know.
Yeah.
It was hard to keep track of where was I in the level, what did I just do, and what did I unlock. I think that was what got me, especially I think 16 on was when I started feeling it.
Yeah, totally. Well, and I think something like I think each puzzle has like the way you're supposed to do it, but if you can use the mechanics properly, or maybe not even properly, a different way, you can. It does seem like accomplish some of what you want a different manner. Like it doesn't seem like this game, at least in my experience playing it, is that there's only exactly one way to do these things. Like it seems like there is probably a main primary way most people do it, but it seems like if you could foil the mechanics right, you might be able to do it a different way.
Yeah, which I bet is intended because it's all very Portal-esque. You know, it's like if you get these, if you use the Portal physics to do whatever you want, yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I would assume that's relatively intended. It doesn't seem like bugs. Like they're not.
No.
It's not like you somehow slipped through this wall or like broke something. You're just using the portals to do whatever you want. Just the whole point of it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. It didn't feel like you breaking the game, but rather just using what the game gave you a different way, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Should we go to the end, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. So you complete your final test, and GLaDOS has you get on this platform, and you're just headed toward an incinerator.
Oh, one more point. Like throughout the whole game, GLaDOS promises like cake.
Oh,
like,
yes.
You're gonna get cake. There'll be a party for you if you succeed. And then at the very end, I'll let you go from there. But yeah, it seems like the main goal of this is like you'll get cake if you do this correctly.
Yeah, there'll be a celebration.
I don't want cake.
There'll be cake.
Pay me.
Yeah, it's funny. That's what's awaiting you. Is there'll be a party with cake once you complete this, and then is like just kidding.
Yeah.
Actually, all test subjects are incinerated. Thank you or whatever. And so you get moved on your platform towards an incinerator. There's a bunch of fire, but you use your portal gun to escape, and you get outside of level 19, and you basically bust out. And you're trying to run away, while GLaDOS still sees you. So she's kind of following you, I assume through the various cameras around everywhere.
Yeah.
And once you escape out of like the test center, you kind of get up into this like next, I don't know, level of the building, I guess. And the offices are all ruined. So it's totally different. The test centers have looked like super pristine. Imagining what like a super high tech, fancy testing center would look like. That's what that looked like.
Yep.
Now instead, going above into these offices, instead everything's abandoned. It looks kind of wrecked. Instead, it would be like the Forgotten Laboratory almost, like sort of deal. I was reading a little bit online. I don't know if we caught this in the game itself. I don't remember, but the reading I was doing online is they think that GLaDOS basically killed everyone that was here. That she'd released some type of, I don't know, gas or something like that.
Yeah, she did say that in the boss battle.
Okay,
she did say that. About the neurotoxin.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you're battling her, and I guess we'll get to this, but as you battle her, you like, she has like these, you put on the page, the personality spheres have like different, like her morality, her anger, other ones, intelligence, I don't know. And the first one you kill is like the morality one. She says, they installed this when I flooded the test center with neurotoxin. Like, that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
It seems like they installed it after she did that.
Yeah.
So maybe
that's a little weird.
Maybe she did it again and killed them all.
Oh, yeah. Maybe she did it before, then they added it, and then she was able to do it again somehow.
Yeah, or they just died anyway. Who knows?
Yeah.
Clearly, that doesn't work though.
Yeah.
In reality sphere. So
totally. So you're kind of making your way through this ruined lab. You see graffiti on the wall. The cake is a lie is one of the ones you see. So that environmental storytelling of like, okay, are there other test subjects who've made it this far, presumably before you, and I don't know, maybe died before this, since GLaDOS is still here.
There's also red arrows on the wall graffiti. Those were super helpful.
Yeah, those were helpful. Because there were times where I was like, all right, I'm not sure where to go.
Yeah.
So you got some things like that. There were also some other things written on there, on the walls. I forget what they are right now. I did read that I think that they are from other like literature.
Okay.
I forget which ones, but there were a couple different ones for like quotes from things, I think. So you've got all that. Finally, your game kind of culminates in a boss battle with GLaDOS. You finally get to like the chamber where GLaDOS is. And you have this boss battle. They have these personality spheres. So basically what you do is, I think you first attack GLaDOS and one of the spheres falls off, maybe?
Yeah.
And then you throw it into the incinerator. GLaDOS, like, at first tries to talk you out of it and then gets really mad once you do it. And then deploys the guns that shoot the balls. And so you need to make portals to get those to hit GLaDOS. Then you get the sphere, throw it in. You end up with a time limit for this. Maybe you have 6 minutes to get all this.
Releases the neurotoxin.
Yeah, that will kill you. And you have to, I think, get 3 spheres, maybe. That's what it is.
After the time limit?
Or no, during the time limit. You have to, like...
Yeah, during the time limit. After it starts.
Yeah, once it starts, I think
you're right. There's like a red and a green. I remember those two specifically.
And they like fall, but also they'll fall in certain spots. So some of them will like hang in the air, and you'll have to use portals to like essentially catch them on your way with gravity.
Yeah.
To then be able to take it, throw it in, get to the spot where you open the incinerator, like all of this. Kind of a intense boss battle for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if it wasn't timed, it wouldn't have been that difficult.
Yeah.
But it still would. It's like hard to use the portal sometimes when like lots of shit's going on. Yeah, especially having the timer. It's like, oh fuck, because it's 6 minutes isn't a very long time.
No,
it's pretty short.
I failed it the first time because I took a while to figure out where one of the orbs were that fell. Cause
the floaty one?
I think it might have been that one.
I was like,
where is it?
Yeah.
And then I figured out where it was. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, I can do this. But it was definitely frantic, the first one, when I ran out of time. And the second one, I was like, okay, I know what to do. I just have to figure out how to get up there now.
Yeah, the one was super high up. You had to do like the old slingshot maneuver.
Yeah, for sure.
To shoot yourself down, I guess, technically.
Yeah, to be able to like run into it with your gravity.
Yeah.
But that was cool. You destroy GLaDOS. The room also like blows up, right? And you end up get kind of thrown onto the street.
Yep. And it on the surface looks pretty abandoned too. Yeah.
So I wonder if it's like the whole world has ended.
Yeah. Be cool if there was more lore. Pretty interesting. It's crazy how like a 2-hour game with almost there's no like backstory or anything. It's like I want to know more about this. Definitely.
Same. I'm very curious what more will be with like Portal 2 and stuff like that.
I think Portal 2 you play the same person.
Oh, cool.
Well, because at the very end, it seems like you're getting like dragged away by something. Some kind of robot, I assume.
Yeah, something drags you away and then credits roll.
Yeah. So I wonder if you just play as you and it's like a different test facility.
Yeah.
And a different AI.
Yeah, I don't know. When the credits roll, GLaDOS is singing this song called Still Alive.
It's probably still GLaDOS then.
Which is so funny.
Yeah.
And so it's basically about how the test went, how they wanted it to.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
The song is great. You should listen to it.
Yeah.
Oh, also when you boss battle GLaDOS, GLaDOS like gets more dickish to you when they're talking to you. They're like, you shouldn't do this. You're adopted, and like your parents didn't even love you. Like,
there's a point where she's talking about like they're gonna throw a party for you with cake, and they invited all your friends. Oh, but you only actually have one friend, and they're dead. And you don't have any other friends because no one likes you, and you suck at your job, or something like that. Like it's just great stupid insults.
Oh yeah, it's really funny. But yeah, Still Alive song was great. I really like that. But yeah, that's Portal 1. That's Portal. I guess moving to general thoughts. I mentioned it a second ago, but I'm really stoked for Portal 2. I've seen that people really love Portal 2 also. And I know it's a little bit longer than this game. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I'm expecting it to really build on it, especially since I see people really like Portal 2. You know, sometimes with the sequel, it's like, oh, I like the first game. The second one's fine. And this one, instead, it seems like Portal 2 is also really good.
Well, I mean, I feel like it'd be hard to really... Like, they already have the formula down. You could just expand on it a little bit. And then expand kind of the story a tiny bit, too. And I feel like you have another good game.
Yeah, I would think so. But yeah, it's like, you can't rely on just the same puzzles again, like, or at least not totally the same. Maybe in the beginning some are the same, but like you're gonna have to introduce new mechanics that are actually good, and like, I don't know. It seems like a tough task, just for a game that's so loved as this one, to be like, cool, we want to do it again, but make it longer and do like. I'm impressed that it's so loved. It really seems like it would be like, oh, I love Portal 1 and Portal 2 is all right. Yeah. Like that would have made sense, but instead people seem to really love Portal 2 and maybe even like it more than this game. I've seen some of that too.
Oh, wow. So, that's crazy.
Like that's a lot of love. So I'm pretty stoked to get there when I assume we'll do it sometime next year.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. Stoked to play that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've touched on some of my general thoughts. One, did you die in that fire at the end before you figured out you could escape? Or figured out how to escape?
I think I died once. And then, when the game ended, I was like, all right, what do they want from me? Because I wondered if it would be one of those, like, cool, you die at the end, the game's over. And you're like, oh, dang.
Bummer.
But then when it didn't, I saw the wall behind me, or in front of you, like, past it. After that, I did die a few times trying to do it, and I just kept doing it wrong. Like, I saw it, and I blasted in front of me, so I start blasting.
Start blasting.
I blasted in front of me, and then I blasted to the side, but, I tried to make the jump and just fucking miss.
Yeah.
So I did that a few times, too. But after the first time of dying and just letting myself incinerate, I was like, oh, okay, they want me to do something. Because I really thought maybe they'd just have you... well, good job, you completed it, but now we destroyed you. Because, that's not a bad ending.
Yeah, and I wouldn't... And it would fit the whole thing. Or if there was, like, a cake down in there somewhere. There's your cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been funny. Yeah, I think I died twice.
Okay.
And I assumed that there wasn't going to be... Like, that was not the ending. But the first time I died, then you just respawn.
Right.
I was like, is this it? Like, is this just an infinite loop of, like, this is the ending of the game? It's like, I could see that fitting too, actually.
That would be great if it just had it spin back and you're going towards it and the credits start rolling. That'd be sick. I like any... I mean, the ending they did was cool, but...
Yeah, I prefer the ending they got, but that would have been like...
Those both would have fit.
It'd be funny if you... So if you did die... Like, let's say you tried to get out of the fire like 3 times and it didn't work. If that was your ending, you just keep doing it over and over. Yeah. But if you figure out there's another ending, then that's your ending.
That'd be interesting. That'd be cool. I could get into that.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a ton of trouble with the escape after you get out of the fire. Like, that was like the culmination of all the... Dude, I don't even know where I am. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Up, down, left, right. There's so much. That took me a long time. Yeah. Probably longer than it should have.
But. Yeah, that part after I was still using the guide from then on too. Because also I felt like it was a little easier to get lost. Like it was
there's so much going on.
It was less clear. Like because I think there was just more environment. So
yeah, there was.
Instead of being contained to like one room a lot of the time, instead you had a lot more to navigate. And you're like, all right, is this just scenery or does it matter? And trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But a thing I did like, I would say, for this too, is even though I used a guide a lot at the end, everything I saw was like, oh, that makes sense. I get how this is the thing.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate, because like when I do puzzles that I don't get, then I'm like, all right, why is that the answer? Like that sucks, because then you're like, okay, the puzzle was hard, but I don't get it either still. At least on these ones, if it wasn't something I understood, when I got the answer, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense how you would do this or that.
Yeah. Yeah, it did, like we already kind of talked about, but like the physics the game used were like, I think pretty tight. Well done. Like you could solve probably any of the levels multiple ways once you get the portal gone. Which is pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's all I got. We've covered a lot, just kind of talking through it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Cool. Well, we can hop down to some listener feedback then. We got a little bit of thoughts from folks on this. First up, we've got Callum on Twitter said, fun puzzles and very entertaining and witty dialogue from Ellen McLean's GLaDOS. Also really like the stark contrast in the scenery before and after you escape death. The Ratman lore is a nice addition. Need to replay it sometime. I don't know about the Ratman lore.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if you knew what that was.
No.
We'll look that up later.
Yeah. Callum, I'd love more information on that. I wonder if it's something that maybe it's the things written on the wall and maybe just maybe some more knowledge about that we didn't connect. I don't know.
Ratman. Yeah. Amber on Twitter said, such a fun game, so well done. Agreed.
Yeah.
Seems like that's encapsulates what we've said.
Definitely. Eli on Twitter said, terrific game. Over a decade later, it still holds up with crazy good gameplay and an awesome story. I agree. I think for a game, I wish that I'd almost played the PS3, Xbox 360 version just to see what it would be like on that, because like although this, 2007 I think is when like OG BioShock came out, OG Mass Effect, like maybe the first Uncharted, like it's wild that like this game is from that era, but it still feels so good. Like I can't imagine that they really changed the mechanics on the Switch port. I think they just probably made it so it works on Switch.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't think they did anything new, but it feels like it feels like a great game, which is kind of wild because like I'm sure there are lots of other games from 2007 that if we tried to play right now, we'd be like, fuck, why is it this way? We
did have that experience. Remember the what the hell was that tank in Mass Effect?
Oh, yeah, the Mako. God.
The Mako, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Fucking sucked.
Yeah, the Mako did suck.
There you go. Gameplay mechanic, yeah.
There you go. It's from that same time frame. And you're like, God, this fucking sucks. I hate playing this part. Yeah. But this game, perfect. And I feel like we've said it earlier with the Minimalist thing, but like they just went all in on the gameplay. And the gameplay's great. And so it's just awesome to come back. Like, I feel like if I played this in 2007 and then I played it again right now, I'd be like, this is great.
Yeah, just as fun.
Had you played this before today?
I have.
Before now?
I've never beaten it. I played probably like, it would have been back in like 2010 with Vinny.
Okay.
Remember Vinny? Yeah. He had a PC at his parents' house. We'd play there sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun.
Okay, so you'd played some back then. Yeah, I'd never played it, but I feel like that's cool to hear it holds up from someone who had played it back then and has played it more recently, it seems.
Yep, definitely. Chris on Twitter said it was a triumph.
Teddy on Twitter said, great game. The puzzles are designed in a way that make you feel equal parts smart and dumb.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's a good way to describe it. Because the ones that I got, and I was like, ooh, I remember this mechanic. Maybe I could use that. And I solved it. I was like, yeah, look at me doing puzzles.
Yeah.
And there'd be other ones I'm like, I don't get it.
I gotta look at doing puzzles.
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah. Nightwish on Twitter said, amazing game. Portal 2 is also a masterpiece. So you go. A little shout out to Portal 2.
Yeah. Pogo follows similar vein on Twitter, who says, absolute masterpiece, not just the gameplay, which is brilliant, but the plot and voice acting, and Portal 2 is up there too, amazingly. So, some love for Portal 2.
Yep, and we got more love for Portal 2. Daniel on Twitter said, one of my favorites, so creative and fabulous job to Ellen McLean. With GLaDOS, Portal 2 is great as well, single player and co-op. That'd be fun. Do some co-op Portal 2.
Maybe that's how we should play Portal 2.
I wonder, is this you on Twitter, Daniel on Twitter?
No,
this is you trying to get me to play co-op with you?
No.
It's not even from Twitter, you just put that in there.
Actually, I'm all of our listeners.
They're not even real Twitter accounts. You just put them on our notes.
I just put them on the notes.
These are real people somewhere out there, I assume.
Jordan doesn't have Twitter. He doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh my god, that's funny.
You should someday you should put a fake thing and just say something like, game was really good, but I don't like Jordan. Or something. So I'll read it. I'll read it without thinking.
Ron Burgundy.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
you'll Ron Burgundy me.
Yeah, no. Also, Jordan sucks.
Hard to disagree with that.
That's funny. No, I am intrigued by that co-op. I'd planned to just, I assumed it was just single player, so I just planned to play it that way. But co-op would be fun. We haven't played a game. Co-op. Well, okay, we tried to play A Way Out, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And we only played for like an hour, maybe. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like before that might have been like Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
Where we just traded back and forth.
Yeah, and then before that...
Before that, we did it more.
What was it that before? What was the...
We did Life is Strange that way.
Oh, yeah. We did a ton before that.
Before that, we did like Life is Strange and... Walking Dead, of course.
Yeah.
And,
Wolf Among Us.
Yeah. Oxenfree.
Yeah. We did do it a ton.
We did it a lot in the beginning. That'd be fun. Maybe that's what we should do. Mm-hmm. Daniel, thanks for shouting that out.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be... I feel like you gave us an idea of what we should do.
You just saved our friendship.
And it was me the whole time.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Cool. I think we've covered Portal pretty well. If you've got other thoughts on Portal, hit us up on Twitter at StoryEverPod. I'd love to keep talking about this. We can wrap up here. So if you want to check out any of our other episodes, you can do that on Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Our website's TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed.com. Our episodes are there too. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed. There, for as little as $1 per month, you'll get monthly access to bonus episodes we do. Those are sometimes about games and sometimes not. So recently I talked about my favorite Christmas movies. I talked about The Walking Dead ending and talking about my thoughts on that. We did ones about our favorite Pokemon or early games from childhood, things like that. So there's a lot of stuff on there. So if that's something you're interested in, check that out. If you'd like to support the podcast but can't financially, totally fine. One way you could do that is just share it with a friend or rate and review us on Apple Podcast or Spotify. That would go really far in just being able to share these games with each other. I know a thing I always look forward to is hearing other people's thoughts on these games and things that we might miss or didn't know about, or anything like that, like this co-op or in games with heavy story, which we typically do. There's lots of details we end up missing, and so getting to share those with other people and then share our enjoyment of them is always pretty cool. So but that is our episode, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.